Clouds are rolling in, carried by a light autumn breeze. Finally, it seems that summer's spell has been broken. And after a very hot and dry summer, I am surprised to see that the gentle giants have new growth and are bursting into flower. Meanwhile, the corellas are enjoying a feast, digging up breakfast, and a flock of galahs have decided to join them. And I'm curious, Wonder Weavers, what delights have you been enjoying this week? I'd love you to share with me in the comments below. On my desk sit two new friends, Mrs. Henrietta Hedgehog and a mouse inspired by the very well-dressed mice from the Tailor of Gloucester, by none other than Beatrix Potter. And as you can see, Wonder Weavers, I still need to make outfits for my new friends. I'm playing with different techniques and materials to make the dresses. I will fashion the dress of Mrs. Henrietta from fabric. On the other hand, I will make Miss Mouse's dress from paper. And here you can see I'm decorating her skirt with watercolor pencils, following Beatrix's illustration. But of course, no outfit is complete without buttons, perhaps a brooch, and in the case of Miss Mouse, she needs a handheld mirror. Let's start by making buttons. And very recently, a very kind Wonder Weaver showed me her way of making buttons with polymer clay, and she has kindly given me permission to share this technique with you. To the Wonder Weaver who has asked to be kept anonymous, I say a special thank you. I condition a small amount of white polymer clay, and then I roll it out flat. Then, using the thin end of a funnel, I cut out circular discs. I also need a handful of buttons that are a little bit smaller than these. I roll a very small amount of clay into a ball and then press it with my finger. Then with a sewing pin, I create holes in the circular discs. I also make 1-hole buttons with the help of an empty pen. This button type was popular during the Victorian period, and that is because it was easy to button and unbutton, and it was considered to be stylish. Now that I've made enough buttons, I turn to making a brooch. For this I use one of the large discs. I press a corner of a stamp into the clay. I smooth the edges of the disc and gently sculpt it into a more oval shape. I bake the buttons and brooch in the oven for just a few minutes on a low temperature. Once cooled, I glue the buttons to Mrs. Henrietta's dress. For the back of the brooch, I glue a green sequin and then the clay decorative piece. Miss Mouse needs a handheld mirror. I'm going to use some of the leftover polymer clay I conditioned for the buttons. I sculpt an oval-shaped disc and then press a stamp into it. This will be the decorative side of the frame. I then roll a short snake and then attach it to the oval-shaped disc. I sculpt the handle where it meets the frame, creating a V shape. For imitation glass, I'm using mirror board. If you don't have mirror board or silver cardboard, you could also use the wrapping of a chocolate. I cut a short length of mirror board. I turn it over and then trace the head of the mirror with a pencil. I trim the mirror board a little bit more so that it sits nice and neatly. I glue it to the frame, and I'm using a strong PVA glue. And then to finish the frame, I twist Italian crepe paper and glue it around the imitation glass. The sides of the frame are a little bit ugly, so I cover them also with a very thin piece of Italian crepe paper. I trim the excess paper. And paint the mirror frame with silver acrylic paint. And as a finishing touch, I glue a small crystal to the back of the mirror's frame. Now it's time to finish dressing Miss Mouse. I think Miss Mouse is ready for an outing. Where do you think she should go? I'd love you to share with me your ideas, Wonder Weavers. And while making this video, I discovered that there is a museum dedicated to displaying the magical works of Beatrix Potter. This museum is located at the original building on the site of the house of the Tailor of Gloucester. I've placed a link to the museum's website in the description below if you'd like to learn more. Thank you for watching, Wonder Weavers. Now I would love to hear from you. What are you creating at the moment? Please share with us in the comments below. And don't forget that you can connect with me on other platforms such as Substack. All of my details are in the description. Until the next time, Wonder Weavers, take care, stay well, and don't forget to play. Adios, ciao.